I'm Helen, and I just turned 90 last month. You know what I wished for when I blew out the candles on my birthday cake. Not more years. I've got plenty of those. I wished I could go back and shake some sense into my 70-year-old self. Because there's one thing I did, one simple thing, that quietly destroyed my health over the past 20 years. And the worst part? I thought I was being smart. I stopped drinking water. I know what you're thinking. That sounds ridiculous. Who stops drinking water? But let me explain. Because I bet some of you reading this are doing the exact same thing right now and don't even realize it. When I say I stopped drinking water, I don't mean I never drank anything. I still had my morning coffee. I'd have tea in the afternoon, maybe some juice with breakfast. At dinner, I'd have whatever my kids served when I visited them. But plain water, I almost never drank it. It started when I was in my early 70s. I noticed I had to use the bathroom more often. You know how it is when you get older. Everything changes. I'd be out shopping and suddenly need to find a restroom. I'd be at church and have to get up in the middle of service. Worst of all, I'd wake up 3 or 4 times during the night needing to go. So I did what seemed logical. I cut back on drinking fluids. If I drank less, I'd have to go less. Made perfect sense to me. Plus, I never really felt thirsty anyway. That's the thing about getting older. Your thirst mechanism doesn't work like it used to. When you're young, your body screams at you when it needs water. You get this dry mouth, this urgent thirst. But after 70, that sensation just fades. I could go all day barely drinking anything and not feel particularly thirsty. So I didn't drink. I'd have my coffee in the morning, maybe a half cup of tea in the afternoon, and that was it. Some days, I probably consumed less than 2 cups of liquid total. I thought I was fine. I thought I was solving my bathroom problem. What I didn't realize was that I was slowly poisoning myself. The first thing I noticed was the headaches. They started around the time I was 75. Dull, persistent headaches that would last all day. I went to my doctor and he ran tests. Nothing showed up. He said it was probably just age, maybe stress. He gave me some pain medication and sent me home. Then came the constipation. Sorry to be blunt, but this is important. I went from being regular as clockwork to struggling to go even once or twice a week. It was uncomfortable, painful even. Again, I thought it was just age. Old people have bathroom problems, right? That's what everyone says. My skin started looking terrible, dry, flaky, wrinkled beyond my years. I'd put on lotion, but it never seemed to help. My daughter would comment on it when she visited. "Mom, your skin looks so dry. Are you drinking enough water?" I'd wave her off. "I'm fine, dear. It's just age." But I wasn't fine. I was slowly drying up from the inside out, and I didn't even know it. Around 77, I started feeling dizzy when I stood up. I'd get out of my chair and the room would spin. I'd have to hold on to the armrest and wait for it to pass. I fell twice because of it. Once in my living room, once in the grocery store. Thankfully, I didn't break anything, but it scared me. My thinking got foggy, too. I'd forget words in the middle of sentences. I'd walk into a room and completely forget why I went there. I'd repeat myself in conversations without realizing it. My kids started exchanging worried looks when they visited. They thought it was dementia. To be honest, so did I. I was 80 years old when I finally found out what was really wrong. I ended up in the hospital because I fainted at home. My neighbor found me and called an ambulance. At the hospital, they ran every test you can imagine. blood work, CT scans, the whole 9 yards. The doctor came in with my results, and I was preparing myself for the worst. Cancer, I thought, or Alzheimer's, or something equally terrible. You know what he said? You're severely dehydrated. That's it. That was my big diagnosis. Dehydration. I actually laughed. I told him that couldn't be right. I'd been feeling terrible for years. All these symptoms, all these problems, it couldn't just be from not drinking enough water. But he sat down and explained it to me, and the more he talked, the more it all made sense. He said that chronic dehydration in older adults is incredibly common and incredibly dangerous. It causes all sorts of problems that people just write off as a normal aging. The headaches, dehydration. Your brain is mostly water, and when you don't have enough, it literally shrinks slightly and pulls away from your skull. That causes pain. The constipation, dehydration. Your colon needs water to move things through. Without enough water, everything gets stuck. The dizziness, dehydration, your blood volume drops when you're dehydrated. So your blood pressure drops, especially when you stand up. The mental fog, dehydration. Your brain needs proper hydration to function. Without it, your thinking slows down. Your memory suffers. The dry skin. Well, that one's obvious. You can't hydrate skin from the outside if you're dry on the inside. He told me that older adults are at especially high risk for dehydration for several reasons. First, like I mentioned, the thirst mechanism weakens. You don't feel thirsty even when your body desperately needs water. Second, kidney function declines with age, so you don't retain water as well. Third, many medications that older people take can increase fluid loss or decrease thirst. But here's the kicker. He said that chronic, mild dehydration can lead to serious health problems over time. Kidney stones, urinary tract infections, kidney disease, even increased risk of falls and confusion. And in severe cases, it can be life-threatening. I sat in that hospital bed and thought about all the years I'd spent feeling terrible, all the doctor visits, all the medications I'd been prescribed for various symptoms, all the times I'd thought I was just getting old and falling apart. And it was all because I wasn't drinking enough water. The doctor put me on IV fluids for 2 days. By the second day, I felt better than I had in years. The fog in my head lifted. My headache disappeared. I had energy I hadn't felt in ages. It was like waking up from a long, confusing dream. When I went home, the doctor gave me strict instructions. Drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water every day. Not coffee, not tea, not juice. Water, plain water. I'll be honest, it was hard at first. I wasn't used to drinking that much. My stomach felt full all the time. And yes, I did have to use the bathroom more often. But you know what? I got used to it. And the bathroom trips were nothing compared to how much better I felt. Within a week, my constipation was gone. Within 2 weeks, the dizzy spells stopped. Within a month, my skin looked better. My daughter couldn't believe the change. She said I looked 10 years younger, but the biggest change was mental. The fog completely lifted. I could think clearly again. I could remember things. I could follow conversations without losing track. My kids stopped worrying I had dementia. Turns out, my brain was just thirsty. It's been 10 years now since that hospital visit. I'm 90 years old, and I drink water every single day. I keep a water bottle with me all the time. I drink a glass when I wake up, a glass with each meal, and a glass before bed. I've gotten so used to it that I actually feel thirsty now if I don't drink enough. And you know what? I feel better at 90 than I did at 80. That's not normal. That's not how aging is supposed to work. But that's the power of something as simple as drinking enough water. I think about all those years I wasted. Years of headaches and confusion and feeling awful. Years of my kids worrying about me. Years of thinking I was losing my mind, all because I wasn't drinking water. The thing that kills me is how simple it was to fix. I didn't need expensive treatments. I didn't need surgery or complicated medications. I just needed to drink water. Something so basic, so simple, that we take it for granted. But here's what nobody tells you. When you get older, you can't take it for granted anymore. You have to be intentional about it. You have to make yourself drink even when you're not thirsty. Because your body won't tell you anymore. It'll just quietly suffer until something breaks. I see it all the time now in my friends. They complain about being tired, foggy, constipated. They talk about their aches and pains. And I ask them, how much water are you drinking? Almost always, it's not enough. Almost always, they say the same things I used to say. I don't feel thirsty. I don't want to have to use the bathroom all the time. I drink coffee and tea. Isn't that enough? And I tell them what I'm telling you now. No, it's not enough. Coffee and tea are diuretics. They actually make you lose more water. You need plain water. Your body is mostly water. Your blood is mostly water. Your brain is mostly water. When you don't give your body enough water, everything starts to break down. I know it seems too simple. We live in a world of complicated health problems and expensive solutions. It's hard to believe that something as basic as drinking water could make such a huge difference. But it can. It did for me. Here's what I do and what I tell everyone to do. First thing in the morning, before coffee, before anything, drink a full glass of water. Your body has been without water all night. It needs it. With each meal, drink a glass of water. That's 3 right there. In between meals, sip on water, keep a bottle nearby, take drinks throughout the day. Before bed, have 1 more glass of water. Yes, you might wake up once to use the bathroom, but that's better than waking up dehydrated and feeling terrible. If you're taking medications, drink extra water. Many medications affect your fluid balance. If it's hot out or you're doing any physical activity, drink even more. And don't wait until you're thirsty. By the time you feel thirsty, especially when you're older, you're already dehydrated. I wish someone had told me all this when I was 70. I wish my doctor back then had asked me about my water intake. I wish I'd paid attention when my daughter asked if I was drinking enough. I could have avoided so much suffering, but I'm telling you now, if you're over 70, if you're over 60 even, pay attention to this. Make it a priority. Set reminders on your phone if you need to. Get a water bottle you like and keep it filled. Track how much you drink. Your body is depending on you to give it what it needs. And what it needs, more than almost anything else, is water. Pure, simple, boring water. Don't make my mistake. Don't spend years feeling awful because you're too stubborn or too set in your ways to drink enough water. Don't let something so simple rob you of your health and your quality of life. I'm 90 years old, and I'm still here, still healthy, still sharp, not because I did anything extraordinary, just because I finally started doing something very ordinary. I started drinking water. It's the one habit that quietly ruined my health, and it's the one habit that saved it. Please, learn from my mistake. Drink your water. Your future self will thank you.